This is breaking news from 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm 7 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Erin Minkowski tracking some severe weather moving through western New York. We have some heavy rain approaching downtown Buffalo as we speak, and we are all under a tornado watch. So let's get right to it. Start you off with the weather computer, and you can see a tornado watch in effect for all of western New York and northern Pennsylvania. That is in effect until 10 p.m. Right on cue. The heavy rain is now moving into downtown Buffalo, where severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect until 4 p.m. for Erie, Niagara, Chautauqua, and western Cattaraugus counties. Winds with these cells gusting near 60 miles per hour. These cells are also moving off toward the northeast at 55 miles per hour. Check it out. Very ominous looking sky here in downtown Buffalo. You can see sheets of rain here outside our studios. This rain is going to come down very, very quickly. You're going to see some flooding issues across the area as these cells move through. And it's going to cause, look at it, trees are starting to really move as these winds are increasing. Look for winds gusting near 60 miles per hour. We've had a lot of rainfall over April and of course now into May. The ground is very saturated, winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour. Expect a lot of tree damage across the region. So here we go. 7 Super Doppler showing that line of storms just entering into Buffalo right now, moving through Niagara County, and look at all the activity down into Chautauqua County. So you can see up in the north towns first, look at that heavy rain approaching Lockport right now, moving through Niagara Falls, racing off toward the east-northeast around 50 miles per hour. Then we head back toward the metro area. You can see the heavy rain, and then this is a real area of concern for us in Chautauqua County. All of this lightning right here, and this is all moving off toward the east-northeast. Now, can you put the storm tracks on, Dave? And we're going to see a little bit of rotation right there, the early indication of a mesocyclone. So that means the atmosphere is spinning, and that's what we're watching, and that's why we have a tornado watch in effect for all of western New York. When you start to see some of that spin right there, that's in Chautauqua County, or near Chautauqua, in Chautauqua County, moving off toward the east. So Salamanca about 27 minutes, Franklinville 44, Allegheny about 48 minutes, where this cell could be near you as it's racing off toward the east around 60 to 70 miles per hour. Some very, very heavy rain rolling through Jamestown, heading over toward Faulkner and Randolph, as well as New Albion. Right now along 62 to the west, that's where you have the most intense rain. And you can see the mesocyclone right there. All of this lightning, these cells are really starting to fire up. Number of strikes right there, 111 right now. About a half hour ago, it was nowhere near that. There were just a few lightning strikes. So this cell intensifying rather rapidly, and it also has some circulation in Chautauqua County racing off toward the northeast. So this is an area of real concern. We'll head up. You can see a little rotation now to the south of Hamburg as well. So these are things we're going to be watching as these cells are starting to produce some rotation. Tornado watch in effect for all of western New York. A watch means conditions are favorable for tornadic activity, and we are seeing some spin in the atmosphere, and conditions are ripe where we could see an isolated tornado or two. The big weather story, though, will be the damaging winds, as winds along these lines here will be around 60 to 70 miles per hour. And like I mentioned, with the ground being as saturated as it is, we could see a lot of trees topple, especially the shallow root trees like pine trees. So here we go, moving into Buffalo as we speak. Lancaster about 14 minutes away, Alden about 20, Warsaw about 40, Leroy about 50 minutes. So this is what we're watching, and you can see this very impressive line of storms that kind of bows out. So that's why we have those severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 4 p.m. for Erie, Niagara, Chautauqua, and western Cattaraugus counties. Tornado watches in effect for the entire area until 10 p.m. Our Doppler radar picking up some rotation in spots, also getting reports of storm reports for gusty winds in parts near Youngstown and also near Dunkirk. The watch in effect for northern PA and all of western New York until 10 p.m. Here's that initial line of storms rolling through the area, bringing some very heavy rain. You're going to find a lot of standing water on the roadways. The evening commute is going to be very, very slow. Lightning, very frequent, especially in Chautauqua County as these thunderstorms intensify, and the damaging winds, and also possibly some large hail. So a lot going on this afternoon. We'll stop it right there. Yeah, storm report right there to the west of Jamestown. Dave, if you could click on that, we could see what happened there. So that's thunderstorm wind damage near Bemis Point, tree down on Lakeside Drive. All right, so I told you the biggest threat, the damaging winds. A lot of trees would be coming down. We're getting the reports already. You can see a pretty impressive cell with some hail to the southeast of Cattaraugus. We also had some circulation showing up in this area as these cells race off toward the east. So Collins, New Albion, if you're along 62, be ready as this moves off toward the east. Rainfall rates about 4 inches per hour. Look at how fast they're moving toward Boston, Eden, Evans, and Hamburg to the northeast at 72 miles per hour. Hail will be there. Probability of severe hail is near 0, but you could see some hail. And of course, the tornado chance is there as well. So we're going to continue to bring you updates on WKBW.com, Facebook, and Twitter. Stay tuned to Channel 7. We'll have another update for you coming up shortly. And we're starting to see some more rotation pop up across the area. If a tornado were to be noticed by Doppler radar or someone saw one on the ground, we will cut into programming and stay with the tornado as long as it's on the ground here in Western New York if one were to pop up. We're starting to see some rotation, so we're going to get back in the weather lab, analyze the new data, see what's going on. We'll have another update for you shortly.